Hi, Honey Family, and welcome back. So, before I actually get into the story today, I want to show you something. My twins are back together. So, when I was setting up this room as my studio, I could only find this doll, and I knew I had a pair. This one I had for a long time, and then this one my sister found somewhere and then gave to me. So, earlier this week, I was digging around in my pantry, and here she was at the back of my pantry. So they will move back to the spot with that doll and be cute. So I've mentioned several times that I grew up in an old former coal camp here in eastern Kentucky. And I've, if you watched the Hellier reaction video, I mentioned it in that. And I've mentioned it in the video of, I don't actually remember what I named it. I think Sycamore. We have a lot of strange things happening in our area, particularly Van Leer. So this is a story, it's originally from my childhood. I remember hearing about it then. And then earlier this week, last week, I was on a Facebook group for paranormal stories in Kentucky. And somebody said that their ex-husband was originally from this town, and he had the exact same story to tell, only it had happened to him. Now, I don't know if the story I remember hearing as a child is his story. She didn't mention his name. Or if it's happened to multiple people. I don't know. It definitely sounds like it might have been a, what do they call them? Skinwalkers, Fleshgait. They go by several different names depending on your culture. But here's this. We actually printed off some notes on it so I wouldn't get it right. The gist of it is that he was coming home late one night, and he was going up in this town. There's the main branch, and then there's bigger roads, hollows, or hollers as we called them, that come off of that. And then most of those roads have other little roads coming off of them. And he was on one of those side roads, and he was walking up a little road that branches off of that road. And he notices something coming up behind him, like sees a shadow. It started out crawling on the ground, and he said it had to have been 8 to 9 feet tall. And it was all black. Solid black, head to toe. Really long limbs, really long arms, really long legs. And it was crawling super low to the ground. It stood up. It came after him. And, I mean, he was running away from it, but it still shredded his clothes. He left big scratches all over his body. He made it into his house. He told, his family the story. He told others the story. The family actually ended up moving out of that road. I don't think they left Van Leer proper for quite a while, but they did move out of off that road, and he refused to ever go back up that road again. And honestly, I can't blame him. Yeah, I can't blame him. I never saw anything like that there, but I mean, like I've mentioned, we've mentioned on our podcast, and I think I've mentioned on our YouTube channel, my sister and I, when we was little, would see dark shadowy figures walking up and down the hallway of our house all night long. Of course, practically in our backyard was a old abandoned coal mine with an old mine shaft. So it could have been a residual haunt. That could have been a residual haunting from the mine. I don't know. But yeah, I've heard similar stories of this sort of dark, solid black, long-limbed creature in Van Leer since childhood. What it is, I don't really know. If you watch my Sycamore video, where I'm interviewing several friends, the house where I'm at, where I'm interviewing them, is not far from where this story where the guy got attacked. It's not far from where that happened. And the story that they were telling that night of the creature that we call Brownie, which is a big, dark, but no one describes him as long-limbed. So I don't think it is the same creature, but it's a tall, dark creature. That happened just over the hill in another part of this town. So we were talking last year at an event that I camped out at, several of us, about that dark creature that I mentioned, that we talked about in the Sycamore video. And other people have seen it in this area. A friend of mine who was there used to work in radio. Her husband still does. And they were good friends with my dad, who passed away a couple of years ago. And my dad always swore that every radio station he has ever worked in was haunted. Sometimes by decent spirits, sometimes by not so good spirits. But she said that she was working at a station here locally, and she had her headphones on and looks up through one of the glass windows, and there was that creature walking down the hall. Red, glowing eyes. And it terrified her. Absolutely terrified her. So we definitely wonder what's going on in Eastern Kentucky. What's going on in our county, our area, that has made these creatures, this, evil presence, what we call Brownie at Sycamore, or this clearly demonic presence that she saw at the radio station, which we believe are the same creature, or at least in the same family of creatures. What makes them so prevalent in this area, in this town? It's definitely interesting, and definitely something that I will be doing more research into, and definitely trying to figure out more about. Until then, and until the next video, thanks for watching. Bye.